SuperTalk Mississippi Media production.
Are you tired of dents and scratches ruining the look of your car? Look no further than Porter's Body Shop in Brookhaven. Call us at 601-833-1861 or visit us online at portersbodyshopms.com.
I'm Steve Azar, and I'm on the other side of the microphone, meaning I'm asking the questions this time, and oh, have mercy for the airwaves. I spent 20 years in Music City, wrote and made some hits, traveled the world, and then moved my family back to the birthplace of American music and where the magnolia trees prosper. And now every time I put my feet on Mississippi soil, when I'm off the road, well, I'm at peace. On this show, it's all about hearing the stories straight from the mouths of the friends I've made along the way, their journey to success. Heck, there might be someone on, I don't even know, but you know how us Mississippi types are. We tend to take well to new company. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them. I'm Steve Azar. It's just like that muddy river, moving slow. Ain't no worries, it's how life goes, baby. In a Mississippi Minute. That's right.
Hey folks, time for another In a Mississippi Minute. Always appreciative for you guys tuning in. Means the world. I've had a blast over these last 7.5 years, and you guys are the reason. Before we get to my guest, Superior Catfish is another reason. Homegrown and produced in Mississippi, just like my guest today. Can't wait to talk more about him. But for now, Superior Catfish, there's Superior Catfish. Go to superiorcatfish.com and visit Mississippi.org. We are digging deep into the arts. You guys know how I love sports. I love arts. I love our outdoors and all that, although I like to cook what my friends catch or, hunt in the woods. I'm not the biggest hunter in the world. I'm probably the worst hunter in the world, but we're getting into music, and that excites me. My guest today is a seasoned music industry professional with over 25 years of experience in music production, performance, and education. A passionate advocate for youth development. Love this. Through music, he has trained and mentored young musicians across the South region. He currently serves as the music director for the Southern Regional International Youth Department, and I can tell you has played a vital role in shaping the next generation of musicians. His work extends beyond performance. By the way, he is part of my band since 2016, and I think that's looking back. I'll tell you the story of how that happened in a little bit. He's a dedicated educator, like we've said, producer and recording engineer, having managed the B.B. King recording studios at Mississippi Valley State for 8 years. At MVSU, he taught courses in audio engineering, mixing techniques, and live sound production, equipping students, with industry-ready skills. As a music producer, arranger, and instrumentalist, he has contributed to over 20 albums already in his young career, collaborating with renowned artists Delphio Marcellus, Alfonso Sanders, the Doctor, Bill Perry, Ruthie Lee, Steve Azar. Oh, that's me. And let me just say, he's played on multiple tracks of mine, including the official state song, One Mississippi, which he couldn't have been more graceful playing the keys on it. He just nailed it. His expertise in both live and studio recording has made him a sought-after name in the industry down here, I can tell you. Beyond the studio, he has dedicated the past 10 years to his role as Director of Music Education for the B.B. King Museum, where he mentors young performers in the B.B. King Museum All-Stars program. His passion for music education has led him to establish Bo Jimmy's Music Academy. Bo Jimmy's, I guess we could say, or we're going to ask him exactly how he says that because that's part of his name. A hub for aspiring musicians to learn and grow, located in Indianola, Mississippi, his hometown. So much can be said about this man, but let's get to it right now with my dear pal, the multi-talented Jimmy Lee Jr. Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, man, how you doing?
It's Bo Gimme, isn't it?
Yeah, Bo Gimme. It's a play on my nickname is Bo. And actually what happened was when I was a baby, Gary Coleman played this angel in a movie, and his name was LeBeau. That was his character. So when I was born, I think that was on the TV, and my uncle or something called me LeBeau, and so my nickname ended up being Bo.
Wow.
And then Gimme is actually a play off of my name, which is Jimmy. But you know how in our culture they say gimme versus give me something, so it's like Bo Gimme.
I love it. Let's start here now, because I know that you've done all of these wonderful things, and to me, the big blanket that's wrapped around everything that you love, besides your church and the gospel and all that, is educating the future of musicians. We are all doing it down here. You're doing it at a souped up level. I love it. It's become your life. So let's talk about Bo Gimme, your foundation.
Okay. So, you know, as you were saying in my bio, I was working at Mississippi Valley State for a while, and I remember when I was younger, I don't recall there being a person to help me as I was trying to learn how to play music. And so I remember what that felt like to really want to play, but not have a person to kind of help guide me, especially in those early years. So I always kind of said if I ever got the opportunity, I would like to see that be different for, you know, the other upcoming people. So when I left Valley, you know, I was pondering kind of, well, what should I do right now? And it kind of hit me like, well, I've always wanted to help people learn how to play. Also, it's so many people is usually calling, asking me to play and do things. So I was like, if I can teach some other people how to play, it'll even take a load off of me. So it was just that whole thing of trying to help make it easier for people to do what I love to do.
Jimmy, you got to back up for 1 second. So you were going to train people to do what you can do. So that would free you up a little bit to not have to create 17 Jimmy Lees. So let me explain to you. Do you realize how good you are at what you do? So to recreate the monster here that I've seen you play, I'm calling you a monster in a good way, a very loving way. I'm just telling you, because I've seen you play the Beast, which is the B3 organ. It's like you were born with it. So that's commendable, but you're a special talent. Let's talk about your talent for a second. You play, where is it at? I've got this thing somewhere. You play so many instruments, it's crazy. I don't think there's anything you don't pick up. What instruments do you play, and at what age did you start playing each of them?
Okay, so my first instrument was the acoustic guitar, and that was at age 7. And a little quick story with that, my brother and I both was given like acoustic guitars. Well, some type of way his got broke. He thought that I broke it. So he broke mine. So, you know, I gave him a black eye. Yes, I'm not that way no more. But after that, we got a whooping, you know, and after that, I was like, I'm done with guitar. So that's when I went to drums. So I would say around 8 or so, I probably went to drums. And then I did drumming till I was about 11. And so what happened, you know, is so many people was playing drum, and I'm in the church. So all the kids basically were trying to play drums. So we were sharing. It wasn't many opportunities. And so I noticed, I'm like, it's an organ over here. It's a keyboard over here. Ain't nobody playing. So I was like, well, let me learn it. So I started working on keyboard and organ about 11. And what's interesting about that is around 11, I just got started, but I was given a scholarship to go to a private school called Saints Academy and College in Lexington, Mississippi. And so from there, it was interesting because I'm just 11 years old, but I'm away from my family now. Wow. And I'm actually doing music, you know, at this early age. And was
that a school that was full time, all music? Well, no, you know, I know you're getting your education, but heavy dose of music.
Well, actually, it's more of a religious school. It had all the basic courses, but we also had it would almost be like a St. Joe's in a sense.
I got you.
But yeah, but I did have a religious course or whatever, where they talked about the doctrine of Church of God in Christ and things like that. And then it was strong in the music department because, you know, you have a choir and, you know, praise team, stuff like that. So at that time, I was really sent there to help them with the choir And so I think that really began my early stage of really being over musicians and, a choir and things like that. So from my ninth grade year, I was actually at that private school, Saints Academy in college. And then I came back my 10th grade year to Gentry, which is in Indianola.
Sure.
And so I graduated 01 from Gentry. So I would say somewhere around 21 or so. That's when I started picking up the bass. And then around 27 or so, I said, let me try some horn stuff. So I just kind of keep on. I'm a student of it, myself. So I keep trying to learn instruments.
Incredible. All right, I'm going to dig more into your academy and more into your foundation because our foundation supports you as well.
Yes.
And we're fans of everything you're doing and what you're trying to do. And I know it can be an uphill battle at times when you're doing it yourself. Let's take a quick break. We're Jimmy Lee Jr., the fabulous one. I love him. Only thing is, every once in a while, he's a little late, but I'm going to get on to him in a little bit about that. No, I'm not going to.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I'm joking. Visit Mississippi, standing by for you to visit Indianola, Mississippi. Go to Club Ebony, go to B.B. King's Museum. Jimmy will be there every once in a while. It's a phenomenal, phenomenal celebration of the King of the Blues. And also Superior Catfish, man. Are you talking about it? Homegrown and produced just like my man Jimmy Lee Jr. here in Mississippi. It's in Macon, Mississippi. Go to Superior Catfish.
Started today. I'll be okay. Start today.
There's a ton of content from SuperTalk Mississippi on our new YouTube channel. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi on YouTube or go to supertalk.fm/YouTube. Be sure and subscribe for free to get the latest scoop on what's happening in Mississippi news, politics, sports, and the good things happening here in the state. At Fillmore SuperTalk Mississippi.
When you've done all you need to do, and you've had more trouble than you can use, and you've painted every road that you can find.
Love rolling into a Mississippi Minute with one of Mississippi's great musicians. The future, the part of the future in the fabric of our Mississippi, it just keeps coming and coming. When the talent is there, you cannot deny it. Jimmy Lee Jr. is my guest today. Bo Gimme Music Academy down in Indianola, Mississippi. His foundation now that they've started, he won't stop until every kid that gets an instrument in their hand and he can get the opportunity to train them. Speaking of opportunity, you've got the opportunity to get Superior Catfish at your door. All you got to do is go to store.superiorcatfish.com. It's coming to you, and it'll be in your skillet and on your plate later. That's what I'm talking about. And visit Mississippi.org, celebrating the arts. We're talking Indianola, Mississippi, so we got to talk B.B. King's Museum. It's just phenomenal. If you guys have not made a trip down to the Delta, you've got to check it out, where Jimmy Lee's right down the street from it. Big part of B.B. King's Museum. Shout out to our man Robert, who runs the show over there. Wonderful thing. So real quick description on how Jimmy Lee and I are having this conversation today. I was making my Steve Azar and the Kingsmen album, the first I'm told to ever do a studio album in Club Ebony. Nobody had ever done it. And I was with my keyboard player was David Briggs. David Briggs played with Elvis, was in the Muscle Shoals group, played on 1,000 number one records, the legend says, which I have a hard time believing, but they said it's true. And he came down and did my album with me and the documentary called Something in the Water. And he saw Jimmy Lee playing. We were on break, and Jimmy Lee was over there playing, and he goes, wait a minute, stop, Steve. I'm watching this kid over here. This is crazy. There's your guy. Next thing you know, he's got Jimmy Lee on the keys, and he's playing the B3 organ, or was it vice versa? All I know was Jimmy Lee was right, vice versa, right? You were on the session, and then he said, Steve, you can't afford me. I said, how do you know that? I can afford you. And he goes, no, you can't afford me. Jimmy Lee's going to be your guy forever. He's down here with you. I'm not going on the road. And this was part of 4 B.B. King's guys, the great Walter King. That's how I met Dr. Alfonso Sanders, Herman Jackson, and the list goes on. Reggie, everybody was there, plus my band, plus Little Ray Little Ray, man, are you kidding me? From Little Milton, and it was a spectacular event for me to be part of and make that record. But Jimmy Lee has not left the building ever since. He's been a big part of our life, and we're blessed for it, Jimmy.
Yes, same here. You know what's interesting about that story? I know you don't know this part of that. Dr. Sanders had been telling me that you was recording there, and then Robert as well. And they was trying to get me to come back, but I was like, I know how people are when they're doing recordings, because I was running, the B.B. King recording studio. And I was like, I don't know if they want just any old body at their session. It's usually kind of closed. So that day, at the last minute, they called me because it was a tour group. That's what happened that I ended up coming. That's right. Yeah, and so, usually they have somebody that kind of play music and kind of perform for the tour group while they eat. So at the last minute, Robert called me like, hey, man, listen, so-and-so just bailed. We need somebody to play for the tour group. Can you do it or whatever? And so that's what happened that I ended up coming over there. So I felt like it was divine because Dr. Sanders had been trying to get me to come over there and meet you and everything anyway. But like I said, I didn't want to impose. So after that, I was like, well, I basically got to go over there, to do that.
And we had to take a break. And I was upset because I wasn't upset because but I was watching a clock and I knew that we were behind on the recordings, right? Because it took us a minute for us to gel and figure out where we were heading. And so I was going like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. I can't take a break right now. And there you were. And here you are. It's like, it is divine intervention. Our lives are built that way. And you and I, we've been, inseparable really musically ever since, I gotta tell you, I spent a lot of time in Nashville with some incredible, piano players, B3 players especially, all this that were pretty dang special, but there is nothing that these world-class musicians who have been doing it a lot longer than you have, they have nothing on you. You are that great, and you're that creative. So you're that creative as well. And Jimmy, that comes from within, man. To be able to create parts and do all that, it's just you have this innate gift that you've been given, and you're using it, and you're working on it. So let's dig in a little bit more to Bo Gimme Music Academy. Mm-hmm. I know I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but I really am so interested in that because I'd love for people to hear in the area how they can get their kids over to you and really learn an instrument, because I've seen your studio. I'm looking at it right now. It's got everything in there.
Yep. Yeah.
So tell me about the vision and when you started it and how people can get their kids over there.
Okay, so I think it was 2020, at the end of 2020, when I started the Bo Gimme Music Academy. And it's interesting, I'm a strong believer in God. I believe that, he will give you the desires of your heart. And like I said, for me, one of my desire was to make it easier for especially young people to learn how to play music. Because if you look in our area, the arts, and that's why I'm so appreciative to you and your foundation, the arts is almost forgotten in a sense. And so you all are really, really, really helping us, bring that back, because that's a big part of our culture. And one of the things that I've noticed with the arts is a lot of time it helps children with problems and behavior issues and things like that. So it goes beyond just learning music, but it helps socially and all that. So anyway, I wanted to create an environment to where the kids could come to a place where they didn't have to focus on anything else. They didn't have to worry about what was going on at home, if they had some problems there or whatever. So I began looking for a building. And my building is actually located right off of Highway 82. So it's so easy to get to. And at first, I was like, I don't know, this is probably going to be really, 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 really expensive. And I just told you, I just got, laid off from a job. So
and you're dealing with COVID.
Right, and COVID, exactly. COVID was going, and actually that's the reason why I ended up getting laid off was because of COVID. So we was like right in the beginning.
This is a tribute to your faith.
Yep.
And I want to talk to you a minute about the word socially, how kids, a lot of people are a little awkward probably because they are in the arts rather than doing, I grew up both sides of the fence. So I understood I could run to sports or run to music when I needed to. So I didn't have that issue, but I know a lot of kids do. They do, and they need another way to feel like they fit. So keep going and talk about this. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. So, I found the building. I actually talked to, the people, and to my surprise, like, God was just working everything out. They had a price, but they lowered the price because they believed in what I was trying to do. So I just seen God kind of paving the way, and it was just working out. So I started looking for a building in December. In January, I was opening up, like literally. It was like less than a month. We had came in, painted, did everything, kind of started setting up. And then from there, it just kind of kept on unfolding. So Bohemian Music Academy is really just all about giving youth, especially, a place where they can come and learn not just the instrument side of playing music, but just to have another outlet, to do it. Because I know for me, again, I told you, I left home at 11. That's like really young to go to a private school. My second year, I actually stayed on the campus. My first year, I was with my pastor and his wife. So at age 12, it was like I'm in college. So I understand what it's like to be away from family and not have a lot you can depend on. And for me, what I did, I kind of honed in on my music gifts and talents. So I was always practicing. But I understood what it was like as a youth to want to do more, but not have resources to do it, because it took me a while to get my own keyboard, For a while, I actually cried because every Christmas I would ask for an instrument, and my parents weren't able to get it. And so I'm like, here it is, I'm trying to learn. So I actually bought my own first keyboard, and
look around you right now and see what's around you. And is that not the good Lord working or what?
Yeah,
look around. Exactly. You're talking about a keyboard. You got you're like Guitar Center in there with every instrument in the world. We got to take a quick break, and we're going to just continue this on the other side. Superior Catfish, ready for you. Go to superiorcatfish.com and visit Mississippi.org. Celebrates the arts. We're in Indianola, Mississippi, home of King of the Blues, B.B. King. That museum. Jimmy Lee Jr. is my guest. Has a whole lot to do with that. We'll be right back.
Come on back to Memphis.
Up to $20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Home Buyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time home buyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, member FDIC.
Listen and watch all your favorite SuperTalk Mississippi shows live and on demand. Listen to tons of music. Plus, get the latest breaking news from across the state with the SuperTalk Mississippi app. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Download the SuperTalk app on your iPhone or Android device now for free. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi in your app store on your mobile device to get everything Mississippi all in one place. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Get it now. In a Mississippi Minute with Steve Azar, right here on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Having a blast, even getting to know better the guy that I look back when I'm playing at shows with that just groovy smile on his face and just moving side to side. And I'm always grateful, I can tell you, when I see him back there, like I do all my guys. But Jimmy is now the youth of the band. Jimmy Lee Jr. is my guest today. Bohemian Music Academy in Indianola, Mississippi is what he's doing. He's teaching the next generation of musicians. Superior Catfish is teaching folks how to just fall in love with a Mississippi product that's produced here. And there's nothing better. Go to superiorcatfish.com and visit Mississippi.org. Man, oh man, this is how we continue to celebrate the arts. We are the birthplace of America's music. And if you don't give kids the future and the opportunity to continue the tradition, that title could fade. And bottom line is nurturing the next generation of children. Why do you feel compelled to continue that tradition?
One, because it's a need, and two, because I understand the importance of it. And what I mean by that is, again, music is more than entertainment. It's actually good just for behavior issues, like I said, social issues. It actually give a person something to work toward, but it could also lead to so many great things. I have literally spent all of my life doing music, and I know that's something that that's not popular down this way. Usually, if you're going to be like great or do a lot of things musically as a lifestyle or career, you usually think you have to go to a bigger city. Mm-hmm. And so I'm living proof that, and you are too, that we can be right here in Mississippi and we can do great things just like they do in California and Chicago and New York.
Right.
So all we need is somebody to just teach and help youth to see that. If they see it, then I believe they can reach for it. And that's what Bohemian Music Academy is all about. We're all about showing kids what's possible, even down here in Mississippi.
Right. Well, even down here in Mississippi changed the world when it came to music. Yes. So if you think about that, first of all, you got one up on me because I left for 20 years. And when I was growing up, I felt like I needed to be in L.A., New York, and eventually Nashville. And it started in Nashville, but bookended with Nashville. But when we got to a point and moved back, it was truly something that made no sense on paper. So that means it wasn't in our hands. And we came back. It took a second to sort of revamp. But it's been the best, and it's been free. I feel like I'm at peace now when I'm making music, and it's just it just feels so different now, Jimmy. I just can't explain it, but when you've been a big part of that. But with that said, I love hearing you say that. You think about these kids, and I'm going to bring up the social aspect. I mean, you see the confidence build in a kid when they're able to accomplish something and also be around folks kind of like them at that, especially tender young ages. So innocent, so naive, so sweet. And well, maybe not always so sweet, but you know what I mean? I don't think I was so sweet. But you're witnessing firsthand them coming out of their shell.
Yes.
With this natural resource that is music and arts for us. We know that.
Yeah. And one of the things that I'm so proud of is not only like a lot of my students are kids. Actually quite a bit of my clients or my students are actually probably below 14.
Yeah.
And they are actually becoming instrumental in helping their churches and things like that. So when you go into their churches, you're seeing a 12-year-old playing keyboard, guitar, drums. You know, even the B.B. King Museum All-Stars right now, every band member is below 13. It's 13 below.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So imagine what that does when other children see these children performing on a big stage and all that. It makes other children say, you know, Mama, Daddy, I want to do that, you know, because they see, oh, that's a thing. That's an avenue. That's a route we can go. And so it another thing I'm proud of is how these kids, they may have not even known each other, but now they're becoming friends. And so when you look at our culture now, they have something to do besides being involved with the streets and the gangs and the stuff like that, because they're forming their own little cliques and environments, you know, because of this academy. So sometimes they come here and just hang out.
Bohemian Music Academy. First of all, in Indianola, Mississippi, Jimmy Lee Jr. is the mastermind behind that, master heart behind it. Forget the mind. He's got a mind, but it's all from the heart. I know that. And the soul. You know, as you watch these cliques sort of form, I use a click, whatever, these relationships sort of form. Do you get a big old smile on your face when you sort of see?
Yes, because what happens is I mess around with them, and you know, you have to be careful. You don't want to think none of them is that like you're favoring anybody or whatever. So sometimes I mess with them and I'll try to see who thinks they're the favorite or who thinks they're the best and things like that. And it's all fun, but at the same time, it actually propels them. It pushes them to also become better, because a lot of the students, you know, they say iron sharpens iron or whatever. And that I see that happening with the kids, especially like when I did the summer camp, man, though, no kid wanted to be the least of them. So they all would work hard. Usually when I do a lot of one-on-one lessons.
Sure.
And so sometimes they may slack, but whenever they're in an environment where somebody else, and then they see you got a 15-year-old, but then this 12-year-old is doing a little bit better, that 15-year-old, is something rise up in them. And they say, no, I can't be that.
I love it. All right, let's jump to this COGIC, Southern Regional Music Director, Youth Department. You've been serving since, it's 12 years now, since 13, leading youth music initiatives across multiple states. Can you expound on that a little bit?
Yes. So, COGIC is Church of God in Christ. That's a international denomination. And so what happens is there are 5 states that's considered the Southern region. So that's Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah. So every year we come together, like all of the youth come together, and we do what we call a youth rally. And matter of fact, the next one is actually April 4th and 5th, and it's going to be at the Jackson Convention Center. So you can tell it's massive according to the venue. Usually our attendance is usually anywhere from about 3,000 to 4,000 people, youth. And so what I do there is I work with them. They come together. I send out songs that we're going to, minister, because it's a church deal. And we come together, we practice, we have workshops during the day. And it's just a really good event that allows you from 5 states to come together. And sometimes we have from others as well, but we come together for that period of time and we just work and then we have a church service. So it's a wonderful thing that we've been doing like 12 years.
Wow.
It's probably one of the other highlights I have because that allows me to operate outside of just Mississippi.
Right. Now, so where do you go? Like the last 3 or 4 years?
Every year it moves to a different. Every year to a different state.
You've been all over, so y'all move it around. That's good.
Yeah, every year it has. So last year was in Tennessee. It was in Memphis. This year's in Jackson. Next year it'll probably be in some part of Arkansas, like a Little Rock, some. The year after that'll be in like a Louisiana, whether it's New Orleans, Baton Rouge. This year's gonna be in like a big city.
Yeah.
When we did it before Memphis, we was in Birmingham, Alabama.
This is Tourism 101, 102, 103, 105, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is beautiful because you're bringing all these people together and, these hotels and towns, that's a big deal for them.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of money being spent in those towns. That's what Visit Mississippi is all about. Let's take a quick break. My pal, Jimmy Lee Jr., changing the world down here when it comes to tutoring and nurturing the next generation of musicians from, if you look at a band and you see all the parts, he knows how to play all the parts. And he's teaching all the instruments at Bogemi Music Academy there in Indianola, Mississippi. And when he's not doing that, he's on stage with me or in the studio. And obviously B.B. King's. I mean, everything. He's all over the map. In the churches, the other day on Sunday, our show was at night, and he said, I have 3 church services, and I'll be there. Don't worry. I love that. I'll never worry about that. Superior Catfish. There's catfish. There's Superior Catfish. Head on over to superiorcatfish.com and visit Mississippi.org. Like I always say, we are the birthplace of America's music, where it was all born and raised and spread like this beautiful wildfire. If I can say that. I can't say that, but it was spread just so beautifully across the world. And there we go. I'm Steve Azar. We'll be right back.
$20,000 available for first-time home buyers. Hey folks, Steve Azar here. Helping is the heart of our friends at Guarantee Bank. They offer programs like the Home Buyer Equity Leverage Partnership Grant that can assist qualified first-time home buyers with up to $20,000 towards down payment and provide home ownership counseling to empower you on your journey. These funds are first come, first served. Learn more about this program and to apply now, go to gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, member FDIC.
Listen and watch all your favorite SuperTalk Mississippi shows live and on demand. Listen to tons of music. Plus, get the latest breaking news from across the state with the SuperTalk Mississippi app. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Download the SuperTalk app on your iPhone or Android device now for free. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi in your app store on your mobile device to get everything Mississippi all in one place. The SuperTalk Mississippi app. Get it now.
Think for a
My checks ain't bouncing, but they sure is shaking. I ain't broke yet, but I sure am breaking. My BLT's just waiting on the bacon. For heaven's sake, good gracious. There's too much mud at the end of the money. Not enough dough at the end of the day. Don't know why I'm laughing, cause it sure ain't
Just got a
funny.
small segment with my
There's
pal
too
Jimmy Lee
much
Jr.
mud
at
at
Gimme
the end
Music
of the
Academy,
day.
Indianola, Mississippi. Something he has created and been doing since 2020, but he has been educating and teaching for a lot of years before that, from Mississippi Valley State University to so many things, and just now he's turned it into a real music academy where you can go and your child can understand why we're the birthplace of it all, and you never know what talent is lurking right there underneath the skin, and how that can change their life. And once again, continue to help Mississippi to stake claim on being the birthplace of it all. That has been a beautiful thing. And if it wasn't for Eugene Powell, I'm looking at right now when you walk in my door right now, Sonny Boy Nelson hanging out in my dad's liquor store, I sure wouldn't be doing this. And I'm always grateful for that moment, that one moment when I got inspired. So it only takes one moment to light the torch in the heart and the soul and your fingertips and your voice and all that. Superior Catfish, speaking of anything that you can put on your fingertips, I'm telling you right now, I live for it. Just give it to me. Go to superiorcatfish.com and visit Mississippi.org. We're talking arts today. Okay, Jimmy, you're talking about, let me look here, Leeway Educational Advancement Foundation Vision. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so this is something that when I was talking to you, it's the nonprofit side of what we're doing. So basically, what we have done is we're taking Bohemian Music Academy and we've put it under the nonprofit. And one of the reasons why we've done that is because we want to take the load off the parents. Again, we see the importance of what we're doing here at the Music Academy. And what we want to do is take the financial load off. So by converting over to nonprofit, then we can get into grants and things like that. So Leeway is the foundation that we're doing. But see, we want to do some other things, not just, even though Bohemian Music Academy falls up under it, we want to do some mentoring, some tutorials, and just some other programs that we want to do to help, even with teen pregnancy prevention and just different things my wife and I have been talking about that we want to do, because at the end of the day, like I said, we have this music or whatever, but it takes a community, say it takes a village, to raise. Yeah. And so we're trying to be a big part of that village. And so what we're trying to do is expand to where we can get into some other things, because at the end of the day, we just want to help as many people, especially youth, as we can. And we feel that that's the call upon our lives. And so we're doing everything we can to make that happen.
The Leeway Educational Advancement Foundation, that's your foundation, that's your nonprofit. Yes. And then obviously, which we've donated to, we do to both, because we see the importance. You got to have that moment of inspiration where it knocks you off your feet as a kid, right? And Jimmy, I have no music background in my family. There's nothing. Did you have any musical background in your family?
My mom was a singer. I mean, an amazing singer. And the thing with her, though, my mom had a disease called polymyositis. So it's mini muscle disorder. And so she couldn't really just move like on her own or whatever. And that's one of the things that also kept me here, because, of course, we're going to take care of mom or whatever. And so my very first album that I produced was of my mom. And it was at the BB King Recording Studio.
Wow. Yep. That's so beautiful. Man, that's beautiful. So the bottom line here is this: you got Bohemian Music Academy, and that's 24/7, right? That's all year. Mm-hmm. And then you've got Leeway Educational Advancement Foundation. That's your foundation, you and your bride, and you guys have had that going for a little while now. because I know we've donated a couple times, and we're going to continue because we believe in what you're doing, and we're grateful for what you're doing, and we just got to keep it on. And I love the fact that, you didn't have to go off, or you didn't do this 25, 30 years later in your life. You're doing it now in your life, and you're still very young, and I commend you for wanting to give back that quick, and also, just make it your life. Yeah. And it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Well, I appreciate you.
And I appreciate you. Bo Gimme Music Academy, Indianola, Mississippi. Leeway Educational Advancement Foundation vision is right there. His vision. I'm Steve.
Yeah, we have a website.
Oh, yeah. Tell them real quick.
Yeah, so it's Bo Gimme, that's BOGIMME.com, and you can go to the website. You can kind of see what we're doing, pictures and videos, and like I said, we're doing a lot of great things, and we're planning on doing some other things. So just be looking out for us. If you would like to donate, even like an instrument or anything, like you can do that, because a lot of time, like I said, we're working with kids who don't have it, and I've lived it, so I understand. And we give a lot of instruments away, and that's a big part of that is because of you too, Steve. So I appreciate
Guarantee
that.
Bank, they did it last year. They sent you some guitars. Shout out to my team over there at Guarantee Bank. That's a beautiful thing. All right, we're all done. Jimmy Lee Jr., my pal, Superior Catfish, another pal of ours over there making the best catfish, and Jimmy Lee and I could wear it out right now. Go to SuperiorCatfish.com and visit Mississippi.org, man. Should I say more? Plan a road trip to Indianola. Head on over to B.B. King's Museum. You won't regret it. You'll go, whoa, baby, whoa, later on.
I'm Steve Azar. In a Mississippi Minute, all 60 of them, where you can take your sweet time.
There's a ton of content from SuperTalk Mississippi on our new YouTube channel. Just search SuperTalk Mississippi on YouTube or go to supertalk.fm/YouTube. Be sure and subscribe for free to get the latest scoop on what's happening in Mississippi news, politics, sports, and the good things happening here in the state. A SuperTalk Mississippi Media production.